back with another story time. If you're new to the channel, this is Moodtube. I'm Moody. You can follow me on Instagram. You can add me on Facebook. I have a separate page than my personal page now for each, so knock yourself out. And maybe you can hit me up with some ideas. Maybe you want to see something on the channel. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to see my story. I don't know. But yeah. So I'll be putting them in over there somewhere. And it'll also be in my description box below. Today I'm doing a story time. So let's just get into it. This is gonna be another Jobcorp story. It's also gonna be about how like my two little boots end up fighting or whatever. But y'all, I know y'all probably like, oh yeah, she's messy. It's not even me being messy. Sometimes things just happen between two people, you know. Anyways, let's just get into the story, and maybe you guys can judge it for yourselves to say like, oh yeah, I've been in something like that, or no, bitch, you just be doing too much, you know, whatever. So let's get right into it. So in this story, there is three people I used to talk to are in this story. Number one is the girl that I talked to when I first got the Jobcorp. We're going to name her K in this story because I don't remember all the names from like before. I need to start saving them or something. I don't know. Okay. And then there's number two. We're going to name him Sunny. That's the guy from the other story time that was eating my, you know what I mean, in the bathroom. Then there's Lil. I didn't bring Lil into the story yet because this is the point of time when I am talking to Lil. So, you know, I'm doing my thing. I'm not gonna say regular day because I was in a not a bitter stage, but I was like kind of like me and Sunny wasn't cool at all because of the way that I stopped talking to him. He was talking to some girl that owed me money, and he was talking to her while he was talking to me, and she was only 16, which I didn't like because I'm just like ooh, so it just made me mad, and I wasn't fucking with him. Like, I wasn't talking to him at all. I really feel like deep down inside, maybe me and Lil only ended up being a thing because of how me and freaking Sunny ended like things. But me and Lil was cool. Like, we were day ones. We came there on the same day. We were cool. We used to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner together, call you to meet me outside so we could walk to the gym, like all that. Like, we was really cool. And this is prior to, you know what I mean, everything. We was just cool. And then after everything went down, he was just like, yeah, that's lame, like, you know, yada yada yada. One conversation led to the next, and then, you know, Lil was texting my phone like how Sunny was. So yeah, one day me and Sunny's in class. No, Sunny wasn't in my class, I'm lying. Me and Lil was in class, and somehow, I don't remember how it got brought to our attention, but it was brought to our attention that Sunny had got bitched in the bathroom in the same building that we were in. It was like one of the educational buildings. And so, you know, me, I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't bitter, but I was like a little like irritated on how we left off. So, I mean, I found it funny. I wasn't like yelling it from the rooftops. Nobody cared that much. But I just found it funny. And I was just like, okay, well, that'll be that. So we went to lunch. And after we went to lunch, something had happened in between whenever me and Lil parted ways. I had other friends, so we might have been talking, walking. I'm not really sure on the order on how it went. But I do remember when we got back to our class, he let me know that they had got into it and that they were fighting later on after class, after the group meeting and all of that. They were supposed to be fighting behind my building. So I'm like, I don't really think I need to do that, but I don't want to talk too much in class because I don't want y'all to get in trouble and I want you to terminate it. So we dropped it right there, leave it out there. We end up going to our dorms, going to our meetings, and then I ended up going up to his building because he lived in Park, so he was across the lot and at the top of the building. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, y'all. But yes, I ended up going into his building, and there's like a glass right on the side, and then the door's right here. So I kind of like was nebby and looked in the glass, and he was in his phone scrolling, like chilling, vibing. Didn't really look like he was on that. And so at first I'm like, I'm about to call him, tell him to come out here, come sit with me, like something. But I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that because the only way he would have been able to chill with me on that day was if he would have sat like in the gym or like out, and I didn't want him to come out and he see Sonny and they fight. So I just was like, fuck it, I just won't see him. Now on Tuesdays and Thursdays we was allowed to see each other, but since there was weed in my system, I had teeped those fucking days anyway, so I would have to like kick it like real fast and then dip to go to teep anyway. So even if it was that day, I wouldn't have the time for it, but it wasn't. It was like a Wednesday or something like that. So anyways, go back to my room, I read my book, I'm chilling. I don't want to fuck with him because I don't want him to run into other dudes, so I'm chilling. Next thing you know, I get a little text message, get a little phone call. I didn't see the text message, but I had got it, and I had gotten a little phone call. I answered the phone, and it was my friend. I didn't give her a name, so we're not gonna give her a name, but it was my friend, and she was like, girl, I think they about to fight. I just seen Lil get himself ready, and he's like going out the door. He looked like he's going towards your building. So I'm like, oh. So I'm like, oh girl, let me hurry up and come down there. She's like, all right, I'm about to go down there right now. I go to the front of my building. Lil's already out there posted in front of the door waiting. Like, he would have had it. He wasn't playing. So when I come out, I'm like, boo, what is you doing? Like, was you ain't for me? Like, you ain't text me? Like, you ain't call me? Like, being funny and shit. And he's like, nah, it's about that time. It's about that time. Like, I'm like, what, 5:30? Like, no, but he was like, it's about that time. So I'm like, y'all don't really got to do this. Like, and he was like, no, I'm gonna just see if he come out. See if he come out. Honey, like, right after he fucking said that, like, it wasn't like exactly a second after he said it, but it was like right after he said it for real, he comes out. Like, at first I'm like, all right, let me see if he come out, because he probably didn't look up. Like, damn fight. Honey, he came out. He comes out. I'm like, all right. All right, my guy. All right, my dude. All right, little ugly dude. When your ass beat, I'm gonna let you get your ass beat, because I just told this nigga I didn't want y'all to fight, and then you gonna come outside. Like, ooh, I was so mad. So we start inching our way to the back. We didn't just walk to the back because I didn't want nobody to think it was a fight and a whole bunch of people walk over there, then it's hot soup, then the guards come, then they see who's fighting, then they get terminated. I didn't want that to happen. So we kind of all inched back there, couple back, couple, you know, whatever. Cool. When we get back there, they're standing there, you know, man to man, boy to boy. And Lil's like, put your shit up. Lil puts his shit up as he said, like, put your shit up. Well, Lil's shit was like this. He's a big dude. And his guard was different. Like, it's not, I could tell it was like some hood shit. But it's not what I'm used to seeing. But, I mean, I also don't fight all the time. So, you know, maybe that's why. But as soon as Sonny put his guard up, right then and there, I stopped worrying about if he would be okay fighting Lil. And I kind of started worrying about Lil. He put his guard up and he kind of did like the little boxer little like, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, I done fucked with a couple boxers in my day. I know what the fuck they get into. And that's how they be. They be all goofy and chill and looking like the nice guy. And then as soon as you press that nigga's buttons, he going doop, 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 right in your shit. So I'm like, no. Like, no. And I'm like, you can't use no like boxing moves or nothing. And that's like illegal, ain't it? Like, talking shit. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. So I'm trying to shut up. I forget what was being said. Oh, no. I said something like, y'all really don't have to fight. Like, I tried to throw it in there again. And this time, Sonny says it. He's like, I'm not fighting over you. Okay. I'm just saying, I want you to get signed. But if you want to fight, go fight. You want to be a little fighter, little boxer, little Muhammad Ali, Tyson, bye. So it's fighting over me. So I'm playing. They wasn't fighting over me. But yeah, so they both got their shit up. A couple words was exchanged. I don't remember every word because, you know, we was talking, you know, heated moment. It was some time back shit. I don't know. So they both put their shit up. I do remember Lil. I think Lil realized what I realized once he seen his stance. He was like, oh, this nigga, he boxes on? Like, because Lil was, like, I could tell in his head, he's like, oh, I got to hit this nigga first. Because that's what he did. He went in and he dooka. And then when he tried to hit him again, Sonny wasn't having that. Sonny, don't, dooka, dook, don't, meet, mock, me. They both fighting. Boom, whatever. They kind of parted on their own. Like, I don't remember if He pushed him, but I don't think Lil pushed Sonny. I think Sonny was like just standing about and they were just both swinging, and Lil kind of like stumbled back like he was losing his balance, and he ended up falling over his own feet. When he fell over his own feet, he fell like this behind himself, which placed me right behind him. So when he falls, y'all, why the fuck did Sonny run up on his shit like he was about to minka mooka minka? So bro, I walked over like, oh yeah, no, we're not having that, nigga. Let him get up, nigga. You ain't sock him down. He fell. That's a foul. Let him up. Like, bitch, ain't no rules. Let the man fight. But I was not. No, you're not about to do mine shady, and I'm right here. Like, no, like, and this is what I'm talking to. I'm not even talking to you no more. No, like, I wasn't having it, y'all. I was not having it. So I'm like, no, you're not about to. Nope, you're not about to meet his mom right here. So he's like, all right, let him get up. Let him get up. Let him get up. So I'm like, look who grew some balls. Like, y'all, when he said let him get up, that was the hoodest thing I ever heard Sonny say in his fucking life. Like, he told me some little hood stories about some shootouts and robberies. And I'm not saying that he was lying. I just don't feel like he was telling the truth. But regardless, when this nigga said let him up, I'm like, motherfucker. Like, I just couldn't believe it. So I'm like, oh yeah, he's on some shit tonight. He knew he had this. That's why he was like, let's make sure there are no cameras. It's gonna be late at night, after school, after the meeting. Like, nah, my guy. So, honey, I helped him get up. Soon as he get up, Sonny just yoga tried to run and charge him. So when he's charging, first of all, Sonny's not small, but Sonny was taller than me too. But Sonny was shorter than Lil. Lil was tall as fuck. Tall ass, slinky ass, light skinned, skinny nigga. Like, so when he gets rushed, you know, like, you kind of but he was just duka, da, bow, boom, boom. So that's not gonna stop Sonny. You know, he got a little weight on him, so he took him all the way down. It was like a little grass hill area kind of thing. So when he took him down, Lil fell on his back. I can't interfere with that. This is y'all fighting now. You feel because of the fight, not because of yourself. But you not finna whip my nigga's ass. So I like run up to like kick him. Like, nah, you're not about to. Cause I don't, like, when I fight, I don't let people get on top of me. I don't let anybody hit me in my face. I don't let anybody get on top of me. And okay, people would have pulled my hair. I can't really save that part. But I don't pull hair. So that's probably why they do it. It's one up on me. But anyway, so whenever I seen Lil on the ground for the second time and Sonny's on top for the second time, whether if he put him down there or not, it just was like, no, you're not. No, I'm not having it. Like, I better fight standing up or I don't know what's going to happen. Like, because I'm not, like... So, the one guy that came back to with us, he grabs me. He's like, Moody, no, mind your business. Ain't my number still on his phone. And he finna text me tomorrow morning. And he gonna text me tonight. That is my business. Excuse me. No, but so they pushed me to the side. They finished fighting. Lil did end up getting up. But Lil got his shit busted. Like, and I was so mad because, y'all, Lil was my little boo at the time. Like, when I left, I was my boo, though. But I knew once I left, I had to end that because I already know you're still up Jobcorp. You're going to do what Jobcorpers do. And you're going to be fucking and flaunting. So it don't, I mean, maybe not flaunting and fucking, but you're going to fuck with other people. You are, like, and that's okay because I wasn't expecting it to last forever. But we still friends. Anyways, so y'all, they get done fighting. We're just going to skip to the end because I don't remember every punch. I don't remember every tackle. I just remember that part in specific because it pissed me off. But I just remember at the end, Lil had, I think he split his lip. Like his tooth went in his lip. And then something was like cut right here or something. Like he scratched him or something. I don't fucking know. But something was fucked up. And it was bloody. And the first thing I could think, we can't let him go back in his building like this. We got to give him a rag or something. So I think I went to go get a towel. I don't remember. One of us went to go get him a towel or a rag. We go to wipe his face off. He still wants to fight, y'all. I'm like, Lil, please. Like, I'm not want my boo to still be cute when I'm talking to him. Don't do this. I'm going to have to stop talking to you. No, I'm playing. But, yeah, he fucking wanted to still fight. And I'm like, no, it's over. He's like, you know what? You right. He got me. He fought me like a man. That's all I wanted. Real nigga shit. And so I'm like, all right. Like, let's get you wiped off. And we need to get you back to where you got to go. He's like, all right, cool. he comes into my building hallway at the bottom, because I live at the top, but he was at the bottom by Obama, by where Sonny lived, because Sonny lives in my building, but he lives at the bottom. So he's in there, and why Sonny's mans come out like, who was fighting Sonny? Who was fighting Son? I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, we're all gonna get sent home. Like, he was about to be fighting me. Like, cause, honey, I ain't got time for this shit. I'm about to ditch everybody. Fuck y'all. Y'all not about to, you won't catch me. Fuck you talking about. Like, no. That shit had me so mad. Like, so I goes over there and I like grabbed him by the mouth and I'm like, shut up. Like, and he's like, don't touch my fucking mouth. Don't touch my, and I'm like, all right, cool. I was like, my bad, too far. But why are you yelling that? Like, you want us to all get sent home or something. Like, what the fuck? So he's like, oh, well, who was fighting? They're cool. Sonny won. So I don't know why you bitching. And he beat up my nigga. So let it go. Like, let it go. And he was just like, oh, I just wanted to know because my man's ain't by himself. He was by himself, though. But he stood his ground. He's Gucci. No, I wasn't going to jump him. I don't get into that. I don't even let shit like that fly. Well, I kind of was going to jump in it, but that was different. But yeah, and so he let it go. After Lil gets wiped off, he went up to his room. I can't tell you how they snuck him into the building because he does not live in my building. So, yeah, he got back into his building. No, he went into his dorm. He chilled for the rest of the night. I ended up going back to my dorm. We text a little bit because I'm like, you're going to swell up. You're light skinned as fuck, bro, and you look like you bruise easy. So, what we finna be telling these fucking people when we go back to class tomorrow? He's like, I'm just going to tell them I fell in the shower or something. I'm like, you fell straight on your face in the shower? That's what you going to tell them? He was like, let me just think about it overnight. I'm going to figure it out in the morning. I'll have it down by the morning. I don't want to look crazy. And I'm like, I was in my head like, you look crazy as fuck. But I didn't want to hurt his feelings because that was my boo still. Like, you're not going to not be my boo because that happened. Because at the end of the day, every dog has his day. And I ain't never lose no fight. But I know one day I probably will. And don't leave me because I lost, motherfucker. Teach me then. Like, or something. Or tell that bitch come back. We ain't done. Like, something. But don't just leave me. So, no, I didn't stop talking to him for it. Especially because you weren't. Like, I knew it wasn't going to leave Jobcorp. Because, I mean, it's Jobcorp. But, like, it wasn't like... It wasn't like that. I definitely wasn't trying to even hand out like that. I wasn't about to make it look like... Even if I was to be like, oh, yeah, we're not fucking around like that. Bro, we about to walk around like we are until your face go down. You can get your own hose. Because that was my bro. Like, and I wasn't going to let him go out like that. But, yeah, when we got back to fucking class the next day, first of all, ooh.
Big ass hands, man. Shit, bro. Sorry.
I hit him up in the morning, and I'm like, what you... Like, you up? You know what I mean? You cool? He's like, yeah, I'm up. I'm about to get myself in the shower. You know what I mean, make my bed and stuff, and then I'm gonna be on my way to breakfast. You could leave without me, which was weird because I'm like, he always meet me for breakfast, but I'm like, maybe he needs a little bit more time to think about what he's gonna say. Him taking his shower in the morning instead of at night gives him more time in his dorm to think about what he's gonna do. And I did want to be like, did you figure out what you're gonna say? But I did not want to like make him nervous. I was just like, all right, when you come to breakfast, just make sure you got what you gonna say ready, just in case you get stopped by your RA on your way out the door. So he's like, I got you, no problem. I'm like, all right, let me know when you're walking in the cafeteria door or you're getting close and I'll open the back doors. He's like, okay. So I end up meeting with my other friends. We go to breakfast, get our food, sit at our table. We're eating, we're chilling. Breakfast is about to end and Lil still isn't here. So I'm like, he gotta eat something. Like, where's he at? He comes back and he's like, man, I'm pissed. He comes in there and his face is swollen. Like, it's swollen. He's bruised. Like, he was pissed. Like, and I'm like, I understand. Like, I understand completely. Somebody did end up coming up and asking him what happened, and he did use the fucking shower excuse. Like, no one was gonna believe that. No, I knew no one was gonna believe that, and he wasn't even swollen yet. But I'm like, all right, this nigga, this look, he got me tripping and shit. I'm all like, this nigga, this nigga. No, but it fucked me up because I'm like, no, I knew nobody wasn't going to believe that. And now you're putting yourself in a dumber predicament. Like, you got to get it together. So, we go to our first class. And when we go to our first class, me and him had every class together. Me and Lil had every class together. We didn't have the same trait, but our trait was similar. Because I think he did, like, I think he was there for RN and I was there for medical office support. So, like, it wasn't the same trait, but we had to still learn, Health Foundations, and that was the class that we was in. So we went to Health Foundations together, and he gets, like, someone called the teacher telling him to send him to send Lil down to the little medical area. Sends him down there, and when he went down there, he was just like, can I have her assist me? My eyes swollen, I really can't see well. And that was like the perfect excuse. So we walked down there together. Whenever we go in there, they asked me why I was there, of course. And I'm like, oh, I just came to get my medicine because I have allergies, and I have seasonal allergies. And we were on top of a fucking mountain, and it was cold as fuck with thin ass ears. So I really did need allergy medicine every 2 seconds, but I did not need it right then and there. But that was my excuse. My boobas aren't. So he's like, all right, I'll be seeing you in a second. Just have a seat right there. I'm like, all right, cool. Some other dude comes in there, but he's not in a medical department. He works in like one of the office areas, like one of the big people. They're not teachers. They're not medical people, but like they're the motherfuckers that say you could go or come or whatever. I don't know. But he wasn't security. I don't know what his title was. But when he came in on some shit. Like, he was like, so we know you was fighting. We just don't know who you was fighting. And he's like, whoa. And I'm like, who was you fighting? Like, trying to play it off and shit. And he's like, man, I'm going to need you to leave. And I'm like, no, I'm waiting for my medicine. And he's like, what medicine? I'm like, you can ask the lady. I don't know. They won't give me my real medicine. They keep giving me some generic brand. So you would have to ask the doctor exactly what medicine. But it's for my allergies. And he's like, okay, fine. So he asked him to step into the hallway. They're talking in the hallway. My nephew has someone on the door like, can't see shit though. So I didn't really get nothing. He comes back in there. And the lady had already gave my medicine, but I was just sitting there because I didn't want to leave him. Like, so I was just sitting there. And when he came back, he was just like, yeah, he keeps saying, you know, I was fighting, but I wasn't fighting. They said I need to go to urgent care because they don't want nothing to get infected. So they're about to send me to urgent care. Matter of fact, he texted me that. He didn't even come back, y'all. So he texted me that, and I'm like, what do you mean? So I text my other friend like, yo, meet me in the hallway in a rec. And she's like, all right, cool. There's like a little seating area in the rec center with like, I think it had like an arcade thing, not an arcade thing, but a little car racer thing, but it was broke. And then it was other games over there. Anyways, a friend meets me over there. She comes over into the little area. Her sister was also up there. Dang, sorry I'm stuttering, y'all. But her sister was also up there. It was like her sister from her dad, but not her mom. So like they were close in age. And she was up there. There was like some other people out there, like all people that really fucked with Lil for real. And we were just sitting there talking, and I'm letting them know what I know. And I'm like, man, I hope, you know, they don't try to send them home or nothing. Whatever. We're sitting there talking. We got caught up. Fucking the security ended up coming, and they're like, why are y'all just sitting in this hallway like this? Like, we're like, oh shit. Like, so we ended up having to go back to our classes, and we didn't see Lil until later on after lunch. When we did see him, he said that they couldn't prove anything. They couldn't really argue down, but they kept bothering him about it. When he went to urgent care, they gave him something to, you know, clean everything, all the wounds or whatever. Some of his swelling had went down at that time, and they also gave him something just in case he get headaches. After that, I guess they kind of just stopped messing with him. I feel like every time I finish a story, I'm like, I went home shortly after this. But I really did go home shortly after this. I got terminated. So honestly, I don't remember what made them chill, but they definitely chilled. They stopped asking about it. His face healed down. He was fine. He was still my boo. And fucking what's his face was still mad. And this happened, I think, if I'm right, because I might be lying, but I think this happened after Valentine's Day. No, this happened before Valentine's Day. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this happened before Valentine's Day. And if it did, then that means that Sonny still took it upon himself to give me something for Valentine's Day too. But that's a story time for another time. Right now, this is the end of the story. So, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Well, like and comment if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you fucking with the channel. If you're not, that's cool too. I ain't mad at your homeboy. Big habit him, hit him. I don't know. But yeah, so I guess that's all for the next video. I guess I'll just see you guys next time. Later.